Welcome to the Heartification Podcast, where I interview people on how art has affected their lives and what it means to them. Art has a very special place in my life. It not only makes me feel happy, but it allows me to make others feel special. This podcast is all about how art has made an impact on others' lives, for all ages, all backgrounds, and all walks of life. You can find more about this podcast guest in my show notes. Without further ado, let's welcome my next guest. He is a doctor, CEO, author, world-class bodybuilder, and multimillionaire. Please welcome my next guest, Sam Bakhtiar.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate
having me.
Podcast. So the first question I always ask is, how do you define art?
To me, like I said, I'm not a very artsy person. I love cars. And and I think that, cars are art, and art is something that forms, follows, function. It not only looks good, but it also has functionality. That to me is how I define art.
Yeah, definitely, and it can also help people express themselves.
100%.
And so while you were living in Iran, it was very stressful and there were bombings. So were there any creative outlets that helped you cope with those experiences?
The one thing that I know I immersed myself into, I don't know if it was creative or not, is playing soccer. Playing soccer was what I would love to do, and that's what I immersed myself to just focus on.
That's awesome. And when you first moved to America, you were teased by other kids because you were new to the country and didn't speak their language. So did you do anything artistic at all to overcome the bullying?
I didn't do anything artistic. I just always immersed myself in sports. For me, sport is an art. And so I either started weightlifting or started playing basketball. For me, that's what I always immerse myself into. So sports is my art.
When you played sports, do you feel like you were able to just let out your emotions?
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. That's my biggest outlet. So to be able to, sweat and let out my emotions and instead of, keeping it inside, I can go out there and work hard and put my body to the test and let out my emotions.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so art allows you to unleash your creativity, and to grow any business, you have to be creative and different from the competition. So do you think that art is somewhat responsible for helping you grow your businesses?
Absolutely, because art is creativity. And in business, you need to be creative. You need to position yourself and offer different things to customers to stand out. It's called unique selling proposition. And by being creative, that's a form of art.
Yeah, that's amazing. And are you attracted to any particular art form?
I love music. I love music. I can't dance. I love dance, but I can't dance. I have two left feet. And art, I can appreciate it. I can appreciate, the artist and appreciate it. But out of all those, I think music is an amazing art.
And are you attracted to any particular artist?
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, one of my greatest of all time would be Michael Jackson, Prince, and right now, today's age, I like, Drake, I like The Weeknd. And I think they're great. They're great at what they do.
And do you feel you connect with those artists in a way?
So when I was listening to Michael Jackson, I remember the one song where it was "Beat It," where when he comes in, there was black people on one side and there's white people on one side, and he was like trying to prevent a fight, and that was like kind of like when I first walked into high school, in America, where I was the only minority, where there was like black people on this side and white people on this side, and they were like, "What the hell are you?" So I kind of remember connecting to that a little bit, But in the beginning, man, it was hard for me to even understand what they were saying because I didn't speak the language.
Yeah, that's great. And so my Heartification project is all about giving back to the community, specifically to those with disabilities and illnesses. So how do you give back to the community?
I give back to the community by going to my old high school and give a scholarship every year to 5 different students that graduate based on, based on their grade, based on their participation, and based on them their grit.
So when you were helping people with their fitness goals, how do you get them to be creative to break old habits?
So when somebody needs to overcome a bad habit, we got to become a little creative. We got to get a little creative to get themselves out of their own way. So for example, when I work with clients and they can't seem to get up in the morning, they say they want to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, they put their alarm, but what they do, they hit their alarm, they hit the snooze button, they fall back to sleep, or they turn it off in 5 more minutes, and that never happens. So what I let them do, we got to get a little more creative. It's like, all right, why don't we put the alarm, maybe 15 feet away from the bed? So you actually have to get up out of your warm bed to shut it off. So that creates a little bit of, okay, they're up out of the bed, so hopefully they can stay out. I take it even a little further sometimes. I'm like, okay, not only want to put your alarm clock back up, but we're going to have your protein shake and your drink right there ready so that you can only, turn off your alarm clock, drink your protein shake, and now you can't go back to sleep. Now you got to go to the gym and start your day. So there's ways that we got to be creative for somebody to overcome, their habit of getting in their own way.
Wow, that's really cool. Yeah, it's a really cool way of thinking about it. You have been very successful at following your passion to inspire others to be healthier. So what do you do to make sure that your children also follow their passion to inspire others?
So I always try to lead by example for my children. I always, I rather show them rather than tell them. I always let them follow their passion, what they're good at. And if they're really passionate about something and they go all in a certain subject, they're automatically going to become inspiration, and they're going to, other kids are going to look up to them. So you don't do something to become inspirational. You do what you love, and you automatically going to become inspiration to many.
All right. So how would you like people to get in touch with you?
Oh, thank you. They can just look me up at Sam Bakhtiar, SAMBAKHTIAR, and all my social media handles are the same, and everything. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you so much, guys. I'm so proud of you. Avni, how old are you?
13.
You are so amazing. You have such a great life ahead of you.
Thank you so much.
I'm so proud of your dad. And the whole time I'm looking at you, I'm like, I can't wait till my daughter starts doing this kind of things with me. So
thank you. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Remember, if you want to find out more about this guest, please go to my show notes where I have all the links needed. If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe to my podcast series and help me by sharing it, leaving a rating, and a comment. I hope you join me on my next podcast. Bye for now.